always get our money back.
For the next 2 fun-filled hours, get ready to learn something new, be inspired, enlightened, hoot, help, laugh, cry, and be awakened. And now, your host, of awakening the unknown. So please welcome.
Damn it, Susan Swanbeck.
And Michelle Sullivan.
Every
man.
time. I tell you, sometimes the voice is there,
I know.
sometimes it's not. I don't know.
I'm like, oh, shoot.
And you know the weird thing is, I took that one off the board.
I thought you did.
I
had the right one
deleted
yesterday.
it off the board, and it still insists on using it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Good. Wow.
Yeah, the whole thing is whacked, so it's too funny. So look, it's my Dunkin' Donuts.
Wow.
Dunkin' Donuts lip balm. So how many people we got in here tonight that's ready for this? Okay. See, we're gonna be talking runes tonight, peeps.
Runes.
Yeah.
Thank
So-
you for sharing, guys. Share.
Definitely share, like, subscribe.
Absolutely.
Uncle Honor. Hello, Rose. Hello, Patrick. Hello, Jacob. Hello, Michelle. Hello to everybody out in Blog Talk Land that's listening.
How do you see all these people?
Hello,
and I see
Becky.
no one. How is this possible?
Yeah, I don't know. So, hello, everybody. Okay. Now, you have to remember one thing when it comes to runes. Okay? Before we get started, everybody's kind of definition, there's no really one set pattern because, see, I use the Norse tradition. It was something that I have used for a lot of time. So, there are general type meanings as far as runes. But these are the Norse runes that I use, not the Viking runes, which is kind of strange, but it's the ones that I connect to. So there are different runes for different meanings. So we're going to get into this a bit. This is kind of like an introduction to runes. So there's a little bit of history going on as far as runes. And then we're going to talk about each individual rune, what it looks like, and how to pronounce it. How to pronounce it is a big thing. And why we have a blank rune. Why do we have a blank rune? Okay. So, basically, guys, rune casting or reading the runes has more to do with your willpower and emotions. Those that are very strong in will and emotions will find it easier to connect with runes than they will connect with the cards. Because it works, it's a very good tool for an empath. And I know I have a light on me, but I need to be able to see what I'm reading. Okay, so hello Gina, how you doing too? Michelle is typing away today, so she's appearing as Michelle, ATU Network, and Susan Swanbeck. She's meant to talented. So that's the biggest thing you need to understand. See, the first and foremost thing you should realize is that there really is no exact text, guys. There really isn't. When it comes to runes, there is no exact way, no exact meaning. And everyone is slightly different as well. That's the other thing that you need to remember. Now, a lot of this was done through those that don't know anything about the runes, like the rune books that are out there now. There was a lot of research done and a lot of digging done to scientists. Now, most people, if you go back in history, you'll notice there's these signs. See, the runes that I use actually are also an alphabet. That's the ancient alphabet and what it meant. So that's how the Norse used to actually write, was in the runic language. It's an actual language, but yes, the runes themselves do have meanings as well. I'm trying to turn all my runes over as I do this. So we're going to really get into some of the history here is going on because, like I said, there is Nordic runes, which is the runes that I utilize. There's also the Viking runes. There's different runes. So I use what is known as the Elder is what I use. I use the Elder runes. Okay, so, and, all right. You need to actually, and what it is that, we're not going to get into any religious part of this. So when you're actually picking a rune, what you're looking for is resource or backup to who you are. In other words, answers to your question as a backup. This is how you're going to start by self-reading your runes. I will give you a couple layouts to self-read. I cast runes. I've been working with them for a long time. After a while, you'll be able to cast them. Like most people from, what is it, Santa Maria?
Santeria.
Santeria, yeah, they cast bones. I cast runes in a similar manner. And it's basically by the positioning of what's going on. We're going to get into that a lot. So there's a lot of information here. So if you guys need a pen and paper, this would definitely be the time to do it. Now, what you're doing is you're seeking truth and guidance is what you're doing. Truth and guidance. That's what the runes do for you. They give you truth and guidance. Eventually, your intuition will also be connected with this. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, runes are actually an ancient form of, like I said, they're part of the Nordic alphabet. The word rune itself means secret or mystery. Okay. Now, Odin had to hang upside down from the tree of life for 9 days with a sphere inside him. He lost an eye in the well of the Mara, and he actually suffered terribly in order to gain the knowledge of the runes. That's the god Odin. Okay, that's basically, guys, that has a lot to do with the blank rune, is what it is. Now, okay, so now there's actually a principle of runes. This is an actual class here tonight, guys.
Yes,
so
you're learning
definitely,
about the runes.
you're learning about the runes. You're going to learn the meanings of the runes, and you're going to basically learn a few layouts of the runes. So if you do have runes, and you did want to know what they mean and how to cast them, how to understand them, because that's what it is. You need to understand. Like when you're casting, when you're dealing a tarot, basically most people do look at the photos more than they do the words in order to understand what it is they mean. That's part intuition, and that's what we're going to get into as far as intuition with runes is what it is. Mm-hmm. Now, okay, before you actually jump so willingly into the water's wells, runes need to be respected. There is no exceptions for this. You will need to practice control and restraint more now than ever. When I did receive my first set of runes, I actually slept with them under my pillow to have my energy connect with them. And I think you do a similar practice with tarot.
I do. I keep my tarot cards with me everywhere I go.
And that,
especially with a brand new deck. I mean, it can't tell your energy. You can't tell its energy.
Exactly.
It's a living, breathing energy.
Exactly. It's a very, very, very strong connection is what it is.
Absolutely.
Now, the original runes were actually in wood. They were actually, they were carved into pieces of wood. Eventually, they became carved into stones or even some bones. Like I use herringbone is what I use. Right. But that's me. Now, runes actually have their own power. They can easily stand on their own with no more than a missed thought, or a misspoken emotional outburst. They have many levels. Many levels actually written, verbal, and thought as far as meditating and will. You can actually meditate. Hello, Christine. You can actually meditate with these runes. You can focus with these runes. You can go into a meditation and pick a rune. And therefore, that would be the knowledge or the guidance that you need for the day. So you have to learn to respect the knowledge that they're giving you. In other words, if you pick a rune and you don't like it, oh well, there's sometimes it's not always good news. So this is part what we're going to get into. Now, okay, so, all right. So there's actually some traditions that you might have come to know. There are actually 3 main components that you need in order to make all magic besides practice. Basically, that's it. That's all it is. That's the secret of runes. Practice. The more you practice it, the more you understand it, the more you're going to connect with it, and that's what it is. Now, as many of you know, to make magic work best, knowledge is needed, but most of all, you need will and emotion. You need the knowledge, yes. So even if it's in a written word or a little cheat sheet to start, that's fine. But after a while, you'll develop a connection with them. I think the hardest thing with this is the way they actually print up the words and the way they're pronounced is 2 totally different things. Okay. Now, knowledge is a subject matter, of course. Will is the reason for making all that you work. And the emotion is to dive into it. Okay, in other words, don't be afraid of it. Dive into it. Okay, now runes actually work through you. When you do start working with runes, they're going to work through you. Your energy is what you need to understand. They actually can reflect and feed off you as well. The rune workings is equivalent or order backwards like emotional need and knowledge. Okay, and that's what it is. Now, emotion gives like activities as far as strength. Explain it that way. Need is will. It actually sends and gives focus. And the knowledge actually directs and controls the power. Okay, do you understand that so far? You're confused.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So most people, in order to cast regular magic, it's knowledge, will, and emotion. Okay. In order to cast runes, it's emotion, will, and then knowledge.
Okay.
It's backwards. So right, it deals a lot off of emotions. That's why it's really easy for an empath to really get into start casting the runes.
Because of the emotion component.
Because of the emotional component. And that's why a lot of empaths do have issues with cards, but they can eventually get into casting runes. It's a really strong emotional base, is what it is, if it explains it that way.
No,
Okay?
that makes more sense.
Right. Now, runes can actually easy activate you in many ways in other words, a lot of things that you've done. Eventually, runes, you can put your rune symbols on everything. I cast runes into candles. Before I do the magic with the oils, I cast them. You're not drawing them, you're casting the runes. Okay? The difference is I'm casting the energy of a particular rune onto the candle for a certain effect. Okay, now that's why you need to develop a very strong bond with the runes that you're actually working with. You need to know not only what they mean, but you need to know how they feel. How does this meaning feel? Okay, how does this feel? Like if you get the wealth, are you seeing yourself going rich? In other words, how does it feel, the wealth? For some people, wealth, because there's two separate wealths. There's two separate runes that have something to do with wealth. One is actually monetary, and you have to know that. And the other one has to do with the type of wealth you cannot sell or give away. It has to do with overall wealth, as far as family and happiness and everything coming together and finally getting a dream job. That's the type of wealth that you don't sell or give away. Okay. So let me know when we get any questions.
Still waiting. I wanted to actually put a question out there. I want to know how many people actually have their own set of runes, but nobody's answering me back. But
all right.
Don't be shy, guys.
Now,
how many of you actually have your own set of runes?
Yeah.
Or even a set you made yourselves?
Literally, as soon as they get the certain oak, I need elder oak. As soon as it comes back in stock, I will be actually engraving my own. Right now, I'm working off of bones, but I would like a wood set as well. It's easier to cast the bones.
And it's more of the original, right?
Right. It's really original, so to speak. Now, a quick hint, actually, when working with your runes. You need to stay calm. That's the first thing. Remember I told you, positivity all the time, no exceptions. Remember?
Yeah.
There's a reason behind why I'm like this. Now you're going to start understanding a little bit more. Okay. You need to stay calm at all times when working with runes. Okay? Because the runes are emotion first. So you need to be careful when working with the runes. You need to actually clear your head of all stray thoughts. Okay? All stray thoughts. Focus on the task that needs to be completed. Easiest way to explain that is if I'm got the runes in my hand, when I start shaking them and casting them, or before when I was feeling the energy, I have the person's name in my head, and then I'm asking my guides to guide me, to tell me what information they need to know. What is it they need to know at this particular time? Very similar to a deck. If somebody's feeling the energy of a tarot deck, they're going to say, okay, which one do they actually need it this time? Like, somebody will go and they'll do this, and it'll be in the opposite direction, and they'll feel out the cards to see, okay, this card feels good. You're doing the same thing with the runes. You're feeling the energy of it, is what you did. And I'm very big on energy. So, and that's like, was Michelle's deck I swiped. So, I swiped it as soon as it came in.
In a while, though.
No, I actually haven't. I've been doing a lot of channeling lately. I go through phases. When I'm tired, I will lean on the deck. Sometimes it's not time for me to shine. Now, if you are emotional in any way, this is what we were talking about. If you are overly emotional, mad, pissed off, depressed, okay, you need to wait until you're in that happy space to work with the runes. That's very important. Because your emotions can affect the outcome of the runes.
Alright, so Rose in the chat room says, she's trying to understand, I guess. So
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Like if I move a spirit, etc., or sage your home, and read your cards, that the same ladies?
I'm confused.
I'm confused too.
Okay, I'm sorry.
She wrote, yes, like bad energy.
No, it doesn't have any bad energy. Runes don't have bad energy. But because runes are based off of emotion, you need your emotion to be balanced in order to give the accurate reading. Like you said, like most people, when they're doing readings, they'll clear their space, and we do it all the time. We will burn our sage, we will burn our Palo Santo, and we clear the room and we clear the energy is what we do. Okay? So once we're clearing the room and we clear the energy, we're balanced. And a lot of times we'll clear ourselves as well. That helps maintain the center. Now, after you've done that, then you can work. Then you can start working with the runes. Do you understand that?
Rose,
that help?
yeah, does that make it a little bit clearer for you, Dallin?
Yeah. I knew this was going to be a little complicated, but it's okay. I could take my time with you guys.
So, guys, ask what question.
Okay, so
you
also...
can call in also. By
Yep.
the way, can you text if there is any callers?
I will. The next thing you need to do is you need to ground. Remember I always tell you root like a tree? There's a reason. That's your energy center is the earth. You need to be grounded. You need to be centered. Now, there's a very easy way to get centered. Very easy. Okay? You just want to take your energy hand, make a fist, put this one over it. You put it right in the center of your stomach, like right in this area. I don't know, anybody can't see, but like right in this area, this is the way you want to stand straight up. And then I want you to imagine a string coming from the top of your hand up and the bottom down, and I want you to pull it tight. I want you to keep pulling the string extremely tight till it's tight. And then and again, breathe in the positive, blow out the negative is what you're doing. All right, and that'll help ground and center, root yourself like a tree. Those are things that are going to help you before you even start casting. Okay, because like I said, runes are more based in emotion than anything else. Okay.
She said she does ground herself, but just not enough.
Okay. Root like a tree, honey. Literally imagine there are roots coming out of your feet, and you're grounding and nourishing yourself on Mother Earth's beautiful energy. She's nourishing you. Okay.
Because there's no such, there is too much grounding, right? If you overground.
Well, that's why we do chakras too, because we don't want you to be off balanced.
Right.
Yes, if you're overgrounded and you're blocked, then your energy isn't flowing. You need your energy to flow correctly. Hence the pull. Okay, straighten it out is what you're doing. Definitely listen and balance your chakras every week. And if you need to go back and do it more, go back and do it more. Okay?
Oh, just as I understand.
Right.
now.
Okay.
Good, I'm glad you asked the question, Rose.
How are you doing, Michelle?
Me? What, Michelle?
You. How are you doing?
I'm alright, I think.
Do you understand
I
so far?
I get about emotion being...
All right. You're still
primary.
confused.
A little confused.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's just me, guys.
Nope, that's okay. I want you to say, if you're confused, I want you to speak to me so I can explain.
I'm understanding all that, but I'm trying to figure out how the beginning part ties into how that happens. I
How?
don't know.
What do you mean?
The casting of it. how it being emotion first, and how I don't know that part. I'm having a hard time grasping.
Because, okay, what runes are doing is runes are using your intuition first,
Right.
knowledge later.
Okay, so we don't. That's why. Okay. Okay. All right. Just don't mind me. Just keep on.
No,
going.
that's okay. Keep asking, guys, and this is it. Because your runes works very strongly with your individual intuition, your psychic abilities, your psychic senses. That's why you're working off your emotions. So this way, the emotional aspect of yourself can connect with your runes.
Okay.
Connect.
All right. But yet you want us. We still need to stay calm, cool, and collected.
Yes.
Okay.
Because what you're doing is, see, for me, I'm an empath, so to me, it comes more naturally this way. For others, some people, casting the runes would be something that they need to do. Others will only use the runes for mystical or magical properties or for protection for their house. So it depends on which way you want to do it. Now, think of it this way. Okay, as far as we'll take it in a witch avenue. If you had a spell and you were angry when you cast the spell, is that good or bad?
It's bad.
Okay, same thing. You have a rune. You're trying to draw a rune. You're angry. What's going to happen?
You want to get angry runes?
It's bad. It's still bad. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's still negative. That's why positive, light, just let all the negative go. Trust me, it feels so good to not let anything bother you. Exactly. Intent, clear ground, and center. Bingo. And same thing when you're dealing it, when you're not casting, when you're dealing your cards. Okay, you have intent.
Yeah.
You're clear.
Yeah.
You're grounded, and you're centered when you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
Same thing for the runes. Same thing for the runes.
All right, well, Rose says, look, I'm not sure. I'm a little confused on what she's asking too.
Okay.
Okay. She says, so say if you meet a sad connection with spirit, etc.,
It's
or negative.
no. In other words, it works the same way, honey.
Okay.
It really does. A spirit can come through, and that's the part of being the empathic side of me. A spirit can come through that's either sad, or to me, it's the physical pain as well. But if you are grounded and you're centered and you're clear, it's going to be easier for you to translate the message than it would be for you is if you were already sad and a sad spirit came through. It's going to affect you more. So if you're sad and you're casting your runes and spirit is talking, it's going to make it worse. That's why. Because runes are emotional based. Does that make sense, honey?
Rose, let me know if that makes sense for you, honey. I know I'm trying to ask questions too. And
Right.
Most of you people are shy and don't want to talk to us today. Right, Rose? Nobody wants to talk to us.
We're just getting into the origins of it.
Yes.
Literally.
Okay. Awesome, Rose.
Okay.
You ask those questions, girlfriend.
Yep, that's what I want. I want you to ask questions. I'll let you guys know when it's time to get your pen and paper ready. Okay? I will let you know. And as far as those that are in the inner sanctum, there is some... Right, those that are in the inner sanctum, there is more information that I'm going to be sending in there into our subscription group. So there is definitely going to be a lot more layouts and things like that in there for them. They already have the meanings in there. So there's going to be a lot more information that will be coming through for them.
Another good reason for you guys to join our inner sanctum.
Yeah. Plus, when things do calm down a bit after the holidays, I want to do a couple of live videos working with the runes and explaining it a little bit in more detail as far as in the subscription group. So, all right. So, as far as the origins of runes, okay, runes were actually used to write many languages, including Gothic, German, English, Dutch, Swedish, Norwegian, Iceland, Russian, Hebrew, okay, and other Semitic languages.
That's right.
Believe it or not, the runes were actually part of the original alphabet. What do you think of that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, there's many different there's many different as far as Latin. It actually started in 1874. They believe that the Germanic people actually came into close contact with the Roman culture. The Roman alphabet was
Awesome.
was actually adapted and put to use by the Germans.
I hope you do join us, Rose, in our
Yeah.
little sanctum.
And yeah, that's what they're there. And you also get a free reading every month from one of us.
And an entry into the giveaway every month
Yep,
automatically.
yep. So, also, now we're going to get into part of the North and Italy. Every pretty much religion has their own tradition of where it's come from. Okay, and that's the thing. You have to remember this came from, as far as me, I know it comes from Odin. Okay, that's what it is, the god Odin, the one that hang there upside down with a spear in him. Okay, he was the one that hang upside down by the tree of life in order to gain the knowledge, the secret knowledge of the runes, because the runes were used as an alphabet, but he knew deep down there was a secret behind there. There were more meanings behind what happened.
Oh.
And that's why the runes themselves have to be appreciated. They have to be guided. In other words, you guard your runes. Nobody else touches your runes but you. That's the difference. Some readers will say shuffle to get your energy. Not in runes. Nobody else touches your runes, just you.
Just
you. Right. And that's why when I gave the runes away, I literally smudged them and then put them in the bag so that way it was fresh, ready to attach to its owner.
Okay.
Is what it is.
Which guys, how
Yeah.
many of you guys have your own set of runes?
Well,
out there?
not everybody does, and there's many different types of runes. There's crystal runes, there's wood runes, there's the old bone runes. Herringbone, I think that has something to do with the fact the native part of me and the Norwegian side.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to actually get into some of the North Italic. Okay, now this is actually the newest and most interesting and popular hypnosis among men. Four actually runic theories in recent years. The first proposed by CGS in 1928, that modified by Wolfgang Klaus in 1939. He proposed that the Germanic people living in the Alphas adopted the North Italic script and actually revealed an early date, perhaps as early as actually 300 BCE. So this would have had migrated people from this area up to where it was doing. Now, historically, this is plausible because it lies the initial contact that actually comes 300 to 400 years before we even had the written record. And this is how individuals actually bonded, and that's how they wrote. They were like where is it? This
Is
one.
it kind of like South
Right.
Sign Language?
Well, no. See, they were this was their sign. This was their sign. Somebody looked at this, they know exactly what it meant. That was their written word. Their written word were these symbols.
Rose has a question. She said, do Catholics get a worse time with spirit? If so, why is that? Just something that come up once. She was just curious.
No.
So if a Catholic was to use the set of runes, would they have a harder time
No.
connecting with the spirit?
No.
So okay.
No, it's not. It's not about religion. It's about you. It's about your connection.
Okay. That's something.
Literally.
She was a little
Yeah. No.
so.
No.
Okay.
No. It doesn't matter. You still stick with any religion you want. With me, I go into a deep meditation. If you're a Catholic, if you want to hold your runes and say a prayer before you cast your runes, say a prayer.
Yep.
Because this is an ancient language. We're going back. Okay, this can be connected to any religious base. This is like the original language. Okay, you understand that?
Awesome.
Okay, no callers, just listeners. There we go. So
Why
yes,
am I not seeing Becky Bennett in the right?
Becky Bennett's I think on my page, and you're on ATU.
Yeah, but why would it not? Show
No, I got Becky Bennett right here.
You do, but I don't.
I don't know, it's weird. Well, I'm looking at Becky, you're looking at the other one. Yes.
It's just weird how it hasn't been picking that up at all lately.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have to redo the other thing. Now we're going to get into some Greek theory. Greek theory. There's many different theories. There's also indigenous theory too, by the way. Now, this hypothesis was actually by Simbos Budge in 1899. It's actually based on the thought that the Goths actually adapted the version of the Greek cultive script, the Greek cursive actually script during the period of their thriving and Hellenic culture that actually migrated back to Scandinavia. Now, problem with this theory is the time contact between the Goths and the Greeks. Also, the proposed context could not have started before 200 CE, but rune inscriptions have been dated well before that time period. For this reason, most scholars have actually abandoned this theory. There's many theories on this. She's on ATU Network.
Yeah, and that's not, it's weird.
Yeah. So I think I got 2 pages. I have no idea. All right, so now we're going to get into indigenous theory. Now, the theory springs up in the late 19th century from actually R.M. Meyer. Hypnosis is that the runes are the primordial Germanic invision, and that they're even based for they're part of actual Greek alphabet is what they're saying. Okay. So, and again, everybody, this actually holds no water at whatsoever. But the thing is the simple answer to all of this is that it's really hard. The rune actually, Strive System is actually the result of very complex development in which both indigenous ideographic symbols and it's a written form of language is what it is. So the ones that I use is based in Odin in the Norwegian side are the ones that I use. And there's a lot of history of how the runes came around, and a lot of people argue as far as whether they actually came from the time of Jesus, whether they came before Jesus, whether they dated back to the original written language, so to speak. So there's a lot of theories as in how this actually came around. So that's pretty interesting whatsoever. And again, as far as Northern European religions, okay? Northern Europe, they do like trance work, magical spiritual practices, spiritual journey. They use these for what they call shape-shifting. And again, we'll get into that in a minute. Working with animal spirits, battling in animal form, working weather, healing, divination, and fertility. The same thing that everybody would use everything else for. But there's a lot of history in here. A lot of history. I mean, I have the Egyptian, literally. There's like a chart. I'm going to show you guys this chart. This particular chart, it's a flow chart that actually brings you kind of down to like Hindu, Thai. The Arabic language and as far as like the runic language comes from Greek, comes from Latin, starting Japan, Chinese, Korean. There's a lot of like Babylonian. So there's a lot of like ancient flowchart history in this particular one, which, and again, this will be something if they want in the inner sanctum that I can plop up for them, but you're not going to be able to see it too well. It's kind of like a flowchart of information that I usually have in my class. And this flowchart, it gives a lot of information about the whereabouts, where it could possibly come from, as far as where it was introduced into particular cultures, like introduction, origins, types, family, religion, and timelines is what it goes down to. Literally, I mean, we go from Europe to Africa to South Asia, Central Asia, Eastern Asia, Americans. We're working in a lot of that. Okay, so and there's a lot of like lost information in here, so to speak. I thought that was the dog. Oh. Why do I have a feeling Joe's doing flips?
It sounds like it.
Okay, now we're gonna get into And again, I don't mean to be confusing you with the information, but I need you to understand how long this particular language actually traveled. And by understanding how long this language actually traveled, it'll give you a better understanding of the runes themselves and why you need to bond with them. Okay? Now, alright, now, some people might know some of this, some might not. Now, we're talking about Edda and the Saga information.
Now, what's the Edda mean and what's the Saga mean?
Okay. Now, Edda is actually the name used in the title of the ancient manuscripts dealing with mythology. And we're talking about Edward Thomson. What is that? We had something print?
Yeah.
Oh. Delayed reaction.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure yeah.
Alright. Now, Elder Edda, or the Edda of Semdom, is actually a group of 35 poems actually recorded in Iceland in the Middle Ages, composed actually by a particular gentleman. It's called the Lean of the Wise. It was a century before this collection of the unknown author. Later became part of the Royal Library and the codex of the Royal Manuscript. It was literally, it dates back to then. Now, it is actually a collection of 31 poems that are now kept in Iceland. They were written 13 centuries ago about I think the author was around 1280. Was an actual unknown author that actually wrote this. The poems are sometimes joined or interpreted by those actual passages. I'm all set with that. Now, the poems are actually arranged in deliberate order in order to move from mythology to the heroic. There are 15 mythological poems and 23 heroic ones. Now, these were actually written back in the ancient language of the runic language. Okay? Let's see. Okay, there's also a lot of books that you guys can actually purchase about runology. They deal a lot with mythological poems and very important keys to these poems in order for you to understand and get a deeper understanding of the runes. Okay, it deals a lot with the Odin's wisdom, and again, I highly recommend that one. The beginning, where it came from, the possibilities of other properties it came from, Odin's sacrifice, and I deal a lot with that one. It's words of the higher one. And again, we're talking about Odin. He's the one that I actually deal with. Mm-hmm. Okay, so are you losing me here, or am I boring you?
No, I'm not bored at all. I'm just trying to look at the chats and figure what this thing is all about. And I'm quiet. I'm listening intently.
Now, there is a lot of, like, there's biology, there's reference guides in here if you guys are interested in anything as far as reading and understanding. There's definitely some older information that I can actually, it's like Norse mythology, Myth of the Elders, Myths of Edis. That's a really good book for you to get into. Also, let's see, what else do we have here? Again, Norse mythology, a guide to gods, heroes, rituals, and beliefs. That's actually Oxford. Also, Oxford Andy is the Casuals Dictionary of Norse Mythology, and he is in London. He is really good as well. So there's a lot of also biographies, or bibliographies, please excuse me. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of those that you can actually reference as well, and there's a lot of reference in there to the runes and to the runic language. So, and again, there's some links you can actually get onto right now. Let's see, a good one to start is I'll actually spell it for you. It's HEIMSKRINGLA.NO. That's a really good one. Yes.
So how do you say that?
So literally, it's www.HEIMSKRINGLA.NO /origins /EDIS EDDA /index.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Can you put a link in there somewhere onto.
If you want to type it in.
Look. All right. Spell it to me carefully then. All right.
Okay. A good link to start on.
Is www.
HEIMSKRINGLA
NO
/
backslash
original.
ORIGINAL
Yeah. /
backslash again
EDDA
EDA
/ index.
index.
You can start from there.
All right.
Okay. Hey, Kendra.
Putting the link out there. Hoping. Yes, I did it.
All right. I did wrap your stuff,
Hello,
Kendra.
Kendra.
It's going into the mail tomorrow. So, and I had to wrap something for Brenda as well. So I did get that done.
Rachel and Robert
Also,
and all kinds
any
of
type of
friends.
North mythology, when you're dealing with a lot of this, the North mythology, it's really good to start with that as well. So, now we're going to get into some of the gods. Why, they say?
Why? Why are the gods involved?
Okay. Now, there is a lot of gods and goddesses as far as North mythology. Now, it isn't something that we really don't have to get into if we don't want. But like I said, if you guys are interested in it, it is something that I can post on the Inner Sanctum as well. Let's see. I also have a lot
Hello,
included
Robert.
in here. A lot.
Robert.
All right, so
I
this
want you
is-
booked for the month of December. And
Okay.
Nikki too, and everybody else who's got, come on, even Rachel back on. Come on, guys, hit me up
Hit you up for what?
so I can book them for mystery guesses.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's Michelle's job.
It's a brand new year.
All right. So we're going to give you your first rune before we go to break.
Okay.
Now, your first rune is actually spelled Fehu. Okay. Fehu. But it's pronounced Feyu.
Fayu.
Yes, it's pronounced Fay-Hu. Feyu.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is what I meant by there were signs.
Wait. Show me. Okay.
Feyu. Now, Feyu actually stands for cattle. When you're talking about the Old Norse, this one symbol stands for cattle. So if somebody's seen this, they knew there was cattle there. Do you understand where we're going as far as their language, the way they communicated
Right,
cattle?
That was their sign for
Right, that was
cattle.
the sound for cattle. It's also associated with the colors green and brown. And it is the letter F, actually, believe it or not. Now, the casting meaning of Feyu is actually the rune of power and control. It actually represents new beginnings and movable, anything movable wealth, such as money and credit. Okay? This actual rune gives us the power we need to obtain wealth, as well as the power we need to hold on to it. Now, certain runes can be reversed, certain runes cannot. Okay, so there are certain runes themselves that are reversible and ones that do not get reversed at all. So hold on. 9 runes that can't be reversed. And again, this one can be reversed. So you try to look at it. When you're talking about Feyu,
Hell yeah, Rachel.
okay, Feyu, this is it. Now, if you're tipping it upside down, that's not the correct way. Because Feyu, it goes up. The two F's go up.
Rachel says she recognizes that symbol. Why do you recognize that symbol?
It's a
Rachel?
symbol for cattle, honey. It's the ancient Norse
Oh,
language.
so she obviously
Feyu.
She recognized that symbol.
Yeah, it's
Wow, pretty
Feyu.
cool.
And again, those of you that like music, try to hum it out. Just go,
Feyu, Feyu.
no, Feyu. Feyu. Yeah, you don't want to joke. You want to combine with it, get something that's really connected. And again, that's the one that actually. And again, it's also a fire element is what you're dealing with.
Ah,
You're dealing with the element of fire. You're also stands for cattle.
cattle.
Cattle. Okay, so how many people have the meaning, or how many people miss the meaning of that one?
I would say just again, because this is our first one we're learning. We're learning Feiyu right now.
Feiyu.
Okay.
Now, Feiyu is kind of like this. Literally. Hold on. It's like the F. The 2 letters up, the 1 down. That's Feiyu. Now, Feiyu is actually spelled Fehu.
Okay.
But it's pronounced Feihu.
Feiyu.
Right. Fay and then Hu. Feiyu.
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 Right. Remember it.
Feiyu.
Right. Feiyu. That's right.
Feiyu, Fei me.
Yeah.
We'll say it together. I don't know, I just feel like breaking out the song all of a sudden, just a random thing.
All right. So, and again, you have to understand the meanings in order to be able to cast. So you definitely want to take notes on this, and I'll go over this one again. Now, Feiyu is actually the rune of power and control. It represents new beginnings and movability. Okay? Wealth such as money and credit. It is actually the rune that gives us the power we need to obtain wealth, as well as the power we need to hold on to it. So if that's what it means right side up, what do you think it means upside down?
Poor.
It means that you will be losing wealth. Things will be out of control. Things will be leaving, so to speak, as far as financial, monetary. That's something that will be leaning. Hey, Kendra? So those are things that will be leaving. So when it's right side up, pretty much that's wealth and control of it coming in. When it's upside down, there's no control. It's just kind of leaving. The trick is, when you get an upside rune, is to try to find whichever one's next to it. And that's why I cast the rune. I cast to see if there's an avenue that I can find a way around it.
I see.
And that's why I do that. Eventually, that'll be something you get into. Right now, it's just connecting with them and understanding what they need.
Rachel recognized it as being, the cattle, the bull.
Yep.
And Robert said, cattle equals methane. Methane is ignitable, so fire! Yes, it's a
I thought he was going to say something else.
Rachel says bankruptcy is the opposite, too.
Yep, bankruptcy. Yep, that's another one. Okay? So, and that's
Rachel,
the thing.
for those of you guys who want to come on Mystery Gets Wednesday, send an email to atunetwork@gmail.com. And we will get you booked for Mystery Guest Wednesday. Yay. So make sure you guys do. Awesome. Sorry guys, do a little bit of a what?
Nothing. I was reading a message from one of our wholesalers. That's all.
Ah,
That's all. Okay.
So bankruptcy is definitely a good one for it being opposite of fame.
Yes.
Opposite of wealth.
Opposite of wealth, right.
Bankruptcy.
Well,
Poor.
bankruptcy you control. Money just leaving all of a sudden is something you can't control.
Okay.
Right.
Uh-huh.
You have to file for bankruptcy, which alleviates.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's the part you need to find the avenue for.
All right.
Aha!
That makes sense.
All right.
All right.
I'm really enjoying a spot of tea today.
Spot of tea.
I know I was in a tea mood.
The weather's kind of like that. That's for sure.
Yep.
All right. I think I'm on like sugar overdose over here with all
Well,
this.
how many of those coconut things did you eat?
3. 3. It's so good.
All right.
It's so good.
Now, the next one we're going to get into is actually pronounced it's Uros, and it's spelled Uruz, but it's pronounced OOO-ROOZ. Uros. That's Uros. Uros. You know, it's got like an O sign. It's actually, it's a Arok. It's like a wild ox. This is what this symbol is for. And again, the colors for this one is orange or dark green, which is really strange. They give you this one or that one. Now, Uros is also the rune of power. But unlike Feiyu, it's a power that can neither be owned or controlled. Okay. In a casting, it is meant as personal success is near. It is something that's coming. It's destined. Okay? Now, for charms and talismans, Uros can actually be used for its healing power. Okay. You can actually, if I'm doing a healing candle for somebody, this would be one of the runes I'd utilize.
And you'd carve the symbol for it.
Right. I would carve the symbol with certain intent.
With Ura.
No, Uros.
Yep.
Okay, Uros.
Hey, Karen.
Right.
Cup of tea.
So if
no,
this...
he doesn't have scones. I wish.
I love scones, especially apple scones.
Yeah,
They're my favorites, by the way.
Rachel, like I said, HUnetwork@gmail.com, girl. You hit me up there, send me a message, and we'll stop.
Anybody that wants to do a show on something, Michelle is handling it all right now. I got the crystal thing, the wrapping, the ordering, and the network.
There's a theme to
So,
it.
yeah.
So, we really would like our regulars to
just
step up.
Talk to her.
Step up, guys, so we can do that.
Yep.
Make it happen.
All right.
I
So,
know the person behind the name. You know.
do we understand Uros? Uros. Do we understand this one?
So,
Okay.
Any questions, guys?
Now, remember, this is one of those that can be reversed.
All right, so Urus is something that can be reversed.
Yes.
Can Feyu.
Feyu can be reversed, too.
And Urus can.
And Urus can be reversed.
Okay.
Okay, you don't read sideways. Sideways is always straight up. Whether it's this way or that way, it's always positive. The only time you read a rune upside down is if it's totally upside down. I know that's weird, but it's the way it is. So, if Uros is the rune of power, okay, and personal success, what would the opposite be, guys? Anybody? Lack of power, lack of control. Right? She's taking notes.
I
You
am.
know you live in the same house as me, right?
Yeah, but I made a commitment to learn how to do it too. So I'm doing it just like you guys are doing it.
She's so funny. All right. Does anybody have any questions about Feyu or Uros? Okay. Anybody? Feyu, Uros.
Uros. And these have opposites.
Yes.
These have opposites.
These have opposites. Yes.
First.
How are we doing? Yeah, not to be confused with Ura.
Yes. This one can
All right. Hey, Robert. Robert's being our comic hours as Michelle is, page not found. Ooh.
Oh, no.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull this up. File not found. Damn. All right, I got to get into my Swedish index. Oops.
Failure.
Sorry, guys.
Failure.
Yeah, like I said, this was written up a very long time ago. Very, very long. Okay, how we doing on Uros?
All right. The color is dark orange, dark green, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Uros is the rune of power. But it's a power that we can either own or control.
Bingo.
Okay? So,
All right.
that is the bomb.
It means personal success is coming. It's something that is destined, nothing you can control. Okay? All right. So do we have that?
Think so. Anybody else have any questions before we move on to the next one? What's the next one, Sue?
The next one is Thurizaz.
Say that again, slow.
Aha. This one is actually spelt Thurisaz. But it is pronounced THUR-EE-SAHZ. Thurizaz.
Thurizaz. Is this one the reversible one?
Thurizaz. What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thurizaz. Okay. That's that rune. Now remember, there's another rune similar to it. Then you can usually tell Thurizaz by the way it's more, there's always longer at the top. Longer at the top. This is Thurizaz. Okay? Now, This is actually, it stands actually for thorn or giant. Thurizaz stands for thorn or giant. So if you were traveling in the woods and you see one of these, chances are you'd either get stuck or you'd either get sick with something or stepped on. So, I'm sorry, I had to. So that's Thurizaz. Now the color of this particular rune is white. White. Okay, now this particular rune means that you have that, okay, this actually represents the ability we have to resist unwanted conflicts in a passive manner. Remember I say all positive all the time? Okay? No exceptions. It's actually a rune of protection, and it can actually tell us of a possible change that would have otherwise come without warning. You can actually use the protective aspect of Thurizaz as a defense against adversaries. Okay, do we understand this?
Yes.
Are you just saying yes?
Oh, yes, yeah, you turn the page.
All right. Are we understanding this one? Now remember, Thurizaz can be tipped upside down. If you look at it, it can be tipped. There are 9 runes that can't be. Okay. Okay. So Thurizaz, it helps you stay passive with unwanted conflicts. So if it's upside down, pretty much you're gonna pop a cork.
You're like aggressive.
Aggressive. You're definitely gonna pop a cork. You're not gonna know how to handle it, and that's why when it's upside down, when you're connecting to it, and if you're casting and set it up and you see it, you want to know why. Okay, what's happening? So you want to connect just like the cards. You want to connect that rune with another rune. This is why I choose to cast versus certain setups. There are different setups. You know, past, present, and future. Thor's hammer. There's all kinds of different types of way to actually do this. Okay, are we understanding this, guys?
All right, guys. So far we went through Uruz,
Feyu,
Uros,
Uros,
and Thurizaz.
Thurizaz. Yes. Now, when we come back, we're gonna go to break. When we come back, we're gonna go through Ehan Zeus.
Anzus. How do you say that again?
Ehan Zeus.
Anzus.
AHN dash
HN. On.
dash SOOZ. Zeus.
On Zeus.
Ahan Zeus. Yes. Ahan Zeus.
Did you want to wait till after the break for this?
We're going to wait until after the break. So we're actually going to be right back. And I want you to enjoy this beat from, who's it from again?
Young Swerve.
Young Swerve. Don't forget to contact Young Swerve. Okay? So this beat,
Brunel7@gmail.com.
beat has been brought to you tonight by Young Swerve. We will be right back.
We'll be right back after this break, guys. Don't go anywhere. mounts?
We were sitting there chatting in the back room. Back room? Oh my goodness.
In the background, guys. In the back here, chit-chatting.
Oh my God.
So
we
we
were
were
just
going to talk
chatting
about
away.
Anzus.
Yeah. I'm waiting for this to flash over to us, and I've got to put this smoke out. Hold on.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
Now, is Anzus the reversible one, too?
Oh, what do you think?
I don't know what it's about yet.
This is Anzus.
Anzus.
Okay.
So
Now,
it's like an F.
yeah, it's spelled actually ANSUZ. But the correct pronunciation of this particular rune is AHN-SOOZ.
Anzus.
Right. It's 2 syllables. I kind of separated them into syllables to make them easier to understand.
Oh.
Only a 2-minute break?
No, she said that earlier, but no, breaks longer than 2 minutes, guys.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't even get a chance to get up and get tea. No. So that's that particular room. Now, what you're dealing with right now is mouth. It stands for mouth and divine breath. Think about that. Now, the color of this particular rune is purple.
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 So Anzus is purple.
Yes, it is.
Purple.
Now, all right. Now, Anzus is actually, it's the rune that actually symbolizes stability. It actually shows us order. Okay? It's also the rune that indicates intellectual activities and directly represents divine breath of all creation. Okay. Divine breath of all creation. Do we understand that so far? Okay, and I know there's some coming up that cannot be reversed if I could find what up with them. Yeah, I have like little cheat sheets and all my stuff here. So, oh, that's a good one. Yeah, they give you the examples. Also, I do have those as well. So, hold on. I'm trying to look for my cheat sheets.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. Okay. So, if it's actually straight up, okay, and we are talking about it, it actually symbolizes stability and shows us order. That's going to mean in the upside down position, not sideways, only upside down. It's going to symbolize chaos and disorder. Okay? So in other words, you're going to feel disconnected from your hierarchy. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to get into the next one. We're going to go through these because I got a lot to go through before I can even show you how to cast them. And we were on our last hour because I wanted to give you guys a little bit of history. Now, the next one we have coming up is Raidho. What? Yeah. It's actually spelled Raidho. But this is the correct pronunciation for you guys. It's RAH-EDD-HO.
Ra-ito.
Yes.
Right.
Radio. Yes.
And is it reversible?
Well, yes, because it looks like an R.
Oh. Okay.
It looks like an R. So this one is reversible as well.
Ra-ito.
Yes. Now this one actually, it's the wheel or a cartwheel or riding. Okay, that's basically what it represents. The color is blue, and that's what the symbol itself actually stands for. Now this rune actually allows us to focus our energy so that we may obtain our goals. However, to do so effectively, we must be in the right place at the right time. So again, it's talking about divine timing is what we're talking about here right now. Okay? So that's what we're connecting with. Right place, right time. It means that if you're going to continue to step back and not like leave your house, not do this, not do that, and you're not doing anything, then divine timing is going to come. So in this particular case, this is what that rune means. Can we go forward? Because we only got 4 that we've done, and I've got several more to go.
Okay, keep going. What's the next one?
Okay, the next one we're talking about is Kenaz. Okay, it's spelled Kenaz. It's actually pronounced Kenahz. Kenaz. It's actually the symbol for torch. This rune cannot be reversed. Because no matter, it cannot be reversed. This is not a reversible rune. Okay? Alright, so it's also the color yellow. Now, the meaning of this particular rune is actually knowledge, understanding, learning, and teaching. It allows us to view situations with more clarity than we normally would. Okay? Do I understand that?
Yes.
Say yes. Cannot be reversed. Knowledge, understanding, learning, and teaching. Okay? All right. Now we're going to get on the next one. This one also cannot be reversed. Okay. This particular rune is spelled Gebo. It's actually pronounced Gheb-O.
Jibo?
Yes.
Jibo.
Yes. Jebo. This actually, it means gift. Okay. Gold and silver, or sometimes red, is what this. It looks like an X. Now, Jibo actually represents the honor and the connection that is created between people when they exchange gifts. That's why it's considered the gift one. The connection and the honor is similar to that of a connection honor that a person has with the gods for giving them life. And that's what we're talking about. In other words, this particular gift it's irreplaceable. And that's what it is. Now, this could come about we're talking about a reading. This particular one could actually come about when somebody is a gifted individual or you're receiving a irreplaceable gift from someone. And again, it doesn't always necessarily mean irreplaceable. Sometimes it means a divine connection, a new gift coming, a new growing. Okay. So now we're going to talk about Winyo. Winyo looks like the P.
Is it reversible?
Yes, it is. This is Wunjo. Okay, it's actually pronounced Woon-yo. Wanyo. That's what it's pronounced. This is actually the letter W and V, too, by the way. It's very confusing. It actually stands for joy. The color is pink or blue. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Oh my goodness, please excuse me. Now, this particular rune shows us the balance between all things, even in a chaotic world. It is actually the rune of friendship, common goals, and well-being to all things. If you come across this rune in a reading, you can expect good things and good news to follow. So the opposite would definitely be bad news, okay, and losing a friend. Okay, but sometimes, losses and everything. Okay, now we're going to get into Hagalas.
Hagalas. Is that reversible?
Hagalas?
Yes.
Hagalas is not reversible.
Hourglass is
Now,
not
in some
reversible.
people's runes, this will look different. Some will have one line in the middle, others will have two. Okay?
And it's not reversible.
It is not reversible. Okay? So it's actually Hagalis, excuse me, Hagalas. So right, it's actually spelled Hagalaz, but it's pronounced Hagaw-Laws.
Hagalas.
Hagalas.
Okay.
Right. It represents hail or hailstorms. The color is actually blue or white in this particular one. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, it actually represents, it's representing of a hailstorm that we can actually expect in certain times of situations to be actually constricting. Halagas actually turns up in a reading, but much like a hailstone, eventually it turns into water. So if you guys can understand that, which flows smoothly. So sometimes, just like the Tower card, when you're talking about the Tower card, we always say that the foundation has to be rebuilt. In this particular thing, the hailstorm will come, and then the water will flow freely, because sometimes in life there's certain things we have to go through in order to get us into the direction.
Right.
And if we're not going in that particular direction, you know that our higher beings, our higher selves, or God, or goddesses, or gods, or whatever you choose to believe, it's going to give you that push that you really need to move. And it's not going to be so smooth as you think it is. It's going to be, a lot of work
Bumpy.
there. Right.
Yeah, a little
right.
bumpy.
Little bumpy. So, but in this particular one, it does actually represent that hailstorm. And the hailstorm is something that's going to turn out good in the long run.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Oh, sneezy!
Very nice.
Sneezy!
Sneezy and sleepy and dopey and mopey
Yeah.
and all the other seven
Where the heck
dwarves.
is Manaldis?
Doc.
I can't find Manaldis.
Nice.
No. Hold on, it's here somewhere. It's Naldis. It looks just
You
like...
find it yet?
No, that's so weird. Oh, there it is.
How
I was-
did you say? What do you call it?
It's called Naldis.
Nowdies.
Naldis. It's actually spelled Naudhiz. Okay. But it's pronounced Nowthese.
Nowdies.
Naldis.
Now is that reversible?
No.
Okay.
It's necessity or need. Okay, that's what it represents. It's either black or blue. It represents necessity or need. Now, this particular rune represents how each of our needs and wants can sometimes put a restriction on us. Okay? If restricts our possibilities, but also contains the power we need to break free from those restrictions. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. So sometimes your needs and your wants don't match.
Right.
So it's going to make sure that they do. Okay, by breaking free. Okay, that one cannot be reversed. The next one also cannot be reversed. It's called Isa.
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 Okay.
Okay, it's spelled ISA. It is pronounced EE-SAW. Esau.
Isa.
Okay, it stands for ice.
Oh, Isa.
Ice. Right.
And reversible?
No.
Not reversible.
Can't be reversible. It's a line. How do you reverse it?
Okay.
She's not looking. She's
How
just
would
taking
you know?
notes.
How
Right
would you
here.
know?
This is how you know. This is the rune. Look at the rune. Look at the rune. Look at
Yep,
the
I
rune.
see it. The straight line
Okay.
is, so it's not.
Yeah, you can't reverse it. There's
Okay.
no way to reverse that.
Okay.
Okay, so this, and again, it's brown or black. Now, like an icicle actually formed at the start of winter, with this rune, we can only wait until the warmth of the sun allows us to be free from constriction. So Esau actually represents a halt in activity until change is made.
Any questions, guys, in the chat?
Change in activity. Okay. Now we're actually going to be talking about Yara. She's like, what?
Yara.
Yara. Okay, it is actually spelled Jera. It's pronounced Yare-Awe.
So say it again. Yira. Yeah. Yeah. How do you say it? Yira.
Yeria.
Yeria.
Yeria. Yeria.
Yeria.
This one also is not reversible.
Oh shoot.
Okay, it sounds like Y or J sometimes. And it actually is harvest. It means harvest. The color is actually brown. Now, this particular rune actually represents the circle of life. With this rune, we see that we must go with the flow of nature in order to obtain the goals we want. Have to go with the flow. That's what it's saying. It's not reversible. You just got to go with the flow, guys. Okay. Now we're going to get into, where the heck is my zigzaggy one? You know, that's because sometimes it's just what?
What? Are we gonna have time?
I am trying my best to get through as many of these as possible. So I do have a few more. Okay, so now we're going to get into Iwas. Iwas. This is Iwas. Okay, Iwas, it means yew tree. It actually stands for a yew tree. Now, Iwas is actually a rune that can be used as a magical protector and a facilitator. It actually shows us that in events of an ending situation, we will find the start of something new.
Is that reversible?
Not reversible. It's spelled EIHWAZ, but it's actually pronounced EYE-WAWZ. Iwas.
Wow.
Okay? That's that one.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, everybody.
Sorry, guys. I'm
Thank
trying to
you,
get through every
Adriana.
single one. We're at 9:20, Adriana. You guys, if you want to go back to the beginning, literally some history, but just before the end, we did start our first rose. Okay. The next room we're actually going to get into is Perthro. It's spelled Perdhro. It's actually pronounced Per-THROW.
Oh.
Okay.
Perthro.
Perthro.
Is that reversible?
Perthro is reversible. No.
Not.
Sorry, I had to think there for a minute. Perthro actually reminds us of uncertainties in life representing free will and the connection of restrictions we have due to our circumstances. It is viewed as the rune of memory and problem solving. So that's what it is. So
that means that there is no opposite
right.
meaning for
yeah, you don't reverse that one.
Yeah.
The next one you do.
Oh, the next one is reversible.
Yes.
Okay.
The next one is reversible. The next one is Algiz. It's actually spelled ELHAZ, but it is pronounced ALL-GEEZE. Algiz. Okay, it represents elk and protection. Okay. That's what this symbol is for. It's black and or purple is what it is. Now, this particular rune, it's a rune of great restraint and power, defense and protection, okay? It also used this rune in charms and talisman to actually protect yourself and your property as well. Now, this one does go upside down.
Which
one?
Right.
Algiz.
Algiz. Can't say
I'm going to have her tongue-tied. She already speaks 3 languages.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wait a minute, 4. We got to count English.
All right, so reversible Algiz.
Right,
reversible.
So it is reversible, and so if you're dealing with great restraint, defense, and protection, it's telling you that pretty much you have to an example. Oh, yep. Okay, time to get a security camera for your house. Time to watch your wallet when you go out. Yeah. Make sure you have your purse tied so nobody tries to steal it or keep it with you. Things like that. Okay. Yeah. In other words, you look out for it. You'll know once you start reading what is going on with that. Okay. And I did that one already. So where the heck did it go?
So you gotta
Feyu. I did Feyu. I did Azus. Sorry. All right. Okay, now, the next one we have cannot be reversed. Okay. And again, They do look slightly different. They're all the same. It's Sowilo.
Sowilo.
Sowilo. So it's actually spelled Sowulo, but it's pronounced SO-WEE-LO.
Sowilo.
It's actually the representative of the sun. The color, of course, is yellow. With the helping of this rune, we tend to be able to see things more clearly. Like the sun actually sheds light on dark times, with Sowilo, we can find the light during the darkest times, and that's what it's telling you. Now, this particular rune, in some will look like an N, other times it'll have a line down, one up and down. So they
It's
do look slightly
reversible?
different. No,
No.
they just look different depending on which particular runes you're connected to. This is the one I've always looks like kind of like an N, but it's not.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what that particular rune is. Okay, so now we're going to get into the arrow. The arrow can be reversed. That's Tiwas.
Okay.
Okay, now Tiwas is spelled T-E-I-W-A-Z, but it's pronounced T-E-E-W-A-H-Z. Okay, that's Tiwas. It means creator.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, it can. Arrow going up, arrow going down, so to speak. Down bad, up good. So,
Okay. Up, good, down, bad. Ah.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Tiwas can actually promise us success in our actions, but this time without personal sacrifice.
Good.
It also actually means success in legal matters, but only if we were to be in the right to begin with.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what it is. It really, runes really deal with if you're right, then yes, you're going to be fine. But if you weren't right, no, you won't. Okay, and that's pretty much what's going to happen with that. And again, upside down, you're going to have an issue with your success at this particular time. Or if you go into a court case, you're going to lose it, especially if you were in the wrong.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to happen. Now we're going to get up to Burkina.
Burkina. Burkina. Whoa, Burkina.
You know, some people might name their kids names like
Right?
this.
Oh, is that one a reversible one? Burkina?
Burkina, yes it is, because it looks like a bee.
Oh.
Looks kind of like a bee in this one. Now, Burkina is Berkana, but it is pronounced BER-KAH-NAN. It's Burkanan. It actually stands for birch tree.
All right.
Birch tree. This means white. Okay, the color white and blue. Now, like the birch tree coming to life from a seed planted in the earth, this particular rune, Burkina, actually represents a new beginning and also a powerful birth rune. Right? So that's what it is, representing new beginnings or being stuck. Okay? That's the easiest way to do that one. How are we doing right now? What do you mean no sound?
Where did you see that?
Gina says no sound.
I don't even see Gina.
I have no idea. Hold on.
It froze and has no sound.
It froze.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it frozen.
It must be frozen. It's going, but my chat's not working.
Oh, that's weird.
It's really strange. Why can't I see it on the...
I can see everything. All right, hold on. I'm trying to make sure that the sound... Yep, the sound is fine. Everything's going fine here. Can you guys still hear us now?
Can you hear us, guys?
32 minutes, a lot to get through. I'm back. Rachel, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Rachel, can you hear me? Hear me, hear me.
It's like, it sounds like a Christmas carol.
I know.
Rachel, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh, Becky says we're good.
Okay, good. All right, now we're getting to Ewas. Ewas is spelled E-H-W-A-Z. It's pronounced A-Y-W-A-H-Z. Ewas.
And that's reversible or no?
Yes, it is. Okay, this is reversible. Okay, and again, this represents horse.
Awesome.
It represents horse.
Which Buddha hates every time it comes up in the TV
Yeah.
or commercial or movie or I don't know what it is about it. But I swear he must have got trampled down by a horse in a previous life.
I think so.
Because he hates horses.
Now, Ewas actually reminds us that in order for success, there must be a natural flow in tasks at hand. With this rune to give us power as well as making use for our good intentions, we can surely achieve this success. So, in other words,
Awesome.
it's like your karmic card.
Awesome. Thank you,
Okay?
guys.
So, in other words, positive is going to come towards you. Okay? That's that particular rune. Now, we're really getting there. We're almost done with the runes. Then we're going to talk about some casting techniques.
All right, come in here, whiny. Come on. All right. You good. All right.
Now,
Goodness.
we're-
Goodness gracious.
I know. We're almost done with these runes, guys, I'll tell you. Ooh, somebody's feeling a little dizzy.
It's not me this time,
No, it's weird.
Brenda.
Yeah, a little dizzy. All right, so, excuse me. This is Manaz. Manaz.
Manaz.
It's spelled M-A-N-N-A-Z. It-
Manaz.
Yes, but it's pronounced M-A-W-N-A-H-Z.
Maonaz.
Monas.
Like
Monas.
mayonnaise. Maonaz.
No, Monas.
Is it reversible?
Yes, of course. This one is reversible. Now, and again, it stands for man, actually human. That's what it stands for. It's the representative of human when you're talking about the runic language, okay?
Oh, okay.
Now, the color is either blue or purple. Now, Munaz actually has many powers. First, it can be the rune that actually lets us know we can achieve our fullest potential. Secondly, it reminds us that we as humans all have shared experiences in life. Lastly, we can use the power of this rune to actually gain the upper hand in a dispute and arguments only when we are truly
We have a question
right.
in the chat room too, Sue.
Yes.
Rach, I don't know if you could just go back real briefly. They're wondering. I think she cut on a little bit later, so she's asking where do runes originate from?
Oh, we got to that in the beginning of the show, honey.
There's a bunch of different cultures that kind of.
There's a bunch of different cultures. It's still a debate of where it actually originates from. That was in the beginning of the show. The shoe
The shoe.
was the beginning of the
Oh,
shoe.
she's the old lady in the shoe. She had so many kids, she didn't know what to do. Yes, that's her.
Yeah, it really was. It was in the beginning of the show. It talks about Egypt and China and the Mayan language. This was basically the ancient language. They're still debating whether it came BC or not, because these were the ancient symbols they actually did find carved into a lot of places. So it was, each original ancient language.
It's tough
It's
to
just
say, actually.
where it
from-
actually came from is up for debate. Yeah, I actually do have the pronunciations written down because some of them I know by heart and others I get a little tongue-tied on. So I always keep them on hand just in case. All right, so the next one we're coming up is Lagus.
Lagus.
Lagusta, Lagusta, Lagusta,
Is
Lagusta.
Lagus reversible?
Lagus.
Hey!
Shut it!
Knock it off! Buddha! You better knock it off.
Okay. So this actually represents water or lake. It's black. Okay. Lagus is reversible.
Awesome.
Now, Lagus actually represents the power of water and its ease of flowing nature. So in other words, it's telling you to go with the flow. When this rune actually shows up in a reading so that you can take full advantage of your own powers, and that's what it is, go with the flow. Now, if it's in the upright position, it's telling you go with the flow. If it's saying this, then you need to stand your ground.
Okay.
Okay? So basically that's it's guiding you. The runes are guiding you is what it's doing.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, so we have 3 more and then we'll talk about the blank one.
All right. Oh my gosh. That's right. Do we have the blank one on here? Yeah, I don't know. You're done.
Oh my goodness. No, because he wants to eat. You feed him yet?
Nope.
Oh,
I was
that's
waiting
why.
for him on purpose.
All right, now, Angus can look 2 ways. Can actually look like a diamond or 2 X's on top of the other. This is not reversible.
Not
Okay?
reversible.
Not
And how
reversible.
do you say that one again?
It's spelled I-N-G-U-Z. It is pronounced E-N-N-G-G-O-O-Z. Angus. 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 Sorry.
Angus and goose.
It actually deals with fertility.
Oh, okay.
Now, this rune actually allows us to spread our energy. Think of it, fertility, spreading energy, as far and as wide as we choose. It is a protective rune, mainly for protection of our homes.
Ah.
To use Anguis effectively, we must learn to build up our powers over time, and then release the powers all at once. So casting runes are using runes and things. It's a little bit more of like, hurry up and wait type thing. So and just like this one you really need to wait if you're going to use it to cast in order to cast with something like that or to use it in a spell. So that's something that's going to happen.
Okay.
All right. So now this one cannot be reversed.
Angus is not reversible.
No, the Angus, neither is the next one.
So what is the next one?
The next one is Dagaz. Dagazi. What? Stands for day.
Oh, okay.
Stands for day. So it could be this way or this way. This way. Okay, so it stands for day. It's actually spelled D-A-G-A-Z. But you pronounce it D-A-H-G-A-U-Z-E.
G-A-G-U-E.
G-A-U-Z-E. Dagus.
Wow, that's pronunciation in half.
Yeah. So Dagus actually represents stability between opposites, such as light and dark. It can actually stop harmful energy from getting to you, but at the same time actually allows good energy to skip through you so you can make good use of it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'm trying to say the word. I'm trying to say it out loud, trying to get the pronunciation of it.
Oh, you like this one?
What's this one?
Othilo.
Othilo?
Yes.
Othilo.
All right. It is actually spelt. Yeah, an ice cream. Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Right.
This one is actually spelled O-T-H-A-L-A. But it is pronounced H-O-T-H-E-E-L-O-W. Othilo. 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 Right.
Othilo.
Othilo.
Reversible?
Yes.
Yes. It's reversible.
Now, Othilo actually stands for home. Okay? A sacred ancestral land is also another one. So if you see these symbols anywhere, because the Native Americans did use it too, it means that you're standing on sacred land. That means a burial ground to them. Okay?
Oh, okay.
All right. So the color of this particular one we're dealing with is copper. Copper. Othilo. Okay. Now, much like Feyu, this particular rune is of wealth. But unlike Feyu, Othilo actually represents a wealth that cannot be sold. Remember I said there were two wealth runes.
Yes.
This one cannot be sold. This is wealth like family, friendship, culture, heritage that actually passes down to us. It actually represents an enclosure and maintains an existing state as things presently are. So in other words, it's much given happy wealth, okay?
Happy wealth.
Right. So if you're upside down, there's going to be a so to speak, sometimes a loss in the family, okay? A loss of something or a disrespect. And again, it depends on which rune you're casting next to it.
Next to it.
Right.
Meaning.
Okay.
Okay.
So now we're going to talk about the last one.
What is that one called? Because I want to spell that correctly.
Oh, the last one? Othilo?
No, the blank one that you're going to talk about. What's it called?
Odin.
Odin?
It's just the Odin rune.
Oh, so
And most people don't use this. I do. This particular rune, it's a blank rune. Okay, this is the representation of Odin. This is Odin's sacrifice. This means that all of your hardworking manifestation will come true. It will come to you. This is all of your hard work coming forward, coming to you, your desires, all your struggles, everything will pass because the final outcome, you will gain the secrets. Think of the story I told you about Odin.
Right.
How he gained the knowledge.
Is this one, well, it can't be reversible, right?
No. Blank can't be reversed.
Right.
So, and this is what it is. All your hard work will be paid off, okay, in abundance. And that is what that one is about. Yes. So, all right. Do we understand the meanings?
So we understand the meanings, guys. Yes, it does sound like Haagen-Dazs. That's
All right.
That is for sure, guys.
Tongue-tied on that one, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Really, really tongue-tied.
Angus, Fenu, Arush, Torizas, Otilo. My goodness gracious.
Now, I really do. There's a lot more information in the end that I get into. But I'm sure that some of you want to know how to cast these things. So, let's see. Now, and again, you must recognize the runes as multi-dimensional when reading
Kendra,
them.
what is your question? She has a question. So what is your question, Kendra? Let's see. What is your question? Let's see. What is the question?
And on shoot.
Shoot.
Shoot-be-doo. Sorry, I just got all these weird names in my head. So I was like, shoot-be-doo, shoot-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo.
Sounds. You're like,
I don't know. I get tongue-tied.
Yeah.
What's up, Kendra? What's up, my girl, Kendra?
What's your question, girlfriend? What's your question? What is your question? Oh,
It depends on which particular tradition you're actually talking about. In my tradition, where I come from, as far as my Celtic background, this rune to us always represented Odin. And again, that's kind of what this comes from my grandmother, my ancestry, and that's why I use it as such. And again, most people don't use it. You don't have to. But it's something that I utilize myself.
Exactly.
So that kind of explains that. It's just, and again, a lot of information that actually comes out, a lot of it has to do with theology and Greek mythology and runology. There's a lot to it because there are so many different stories about this and that and the other things. So it's really hard to pinpoint which one is true and which one is not. So, but good question.
That was a very good question.
Good question.
Right. Oh, sounds bad. Good. Gina's hearing it. Sounds awesome.
All right.
There's some of you guys are hearing it, and some of you guys, for some reason, are not.
Yeah, I don't know idea. But remember, the runes are multi-dimensional. Okay, that's very important to know. Now, when reading, depending on your spread, they have many layers. Layers: past, present, and future. Possible futures. You remember, guys, your future is not written in stone; it's written in Jello.
Yep.
Why is your future written in Jello?
Because it can be changed.
Bingo. Everything that you do from the moment you go see somebody or hear something forward, that is going to be the issue there. Okay?
Right.
Oh my God.
Now we're getting up to 15 minutes left here, so
I
how
know.
do we now?
Oh
now
my
that we
God,
have all
I'm
this
so
knowledge,
sorry.
What do we do with it now?
Okay. Sorry. All right.
No,
I'm
what are you
getting.
apologizing for? I'm just curious. Okay.
Oh,
So
all
now
right.
what do you do?
Now, you have possible. Okay, you have possible ways of casting runes. All right. Now, I'm going to show you one way to cast the runes. Okay. So you go in. You have them in your bag, so to speak. Okay. Now, you're focused. You're centered. You're cleansed. Everything is like this. Okay. You're shaking your bag up. Now, you want to focus on a particular issue. Okay, what is your issue? So you want to feel around in your bag of runes. This is one way to do it. And again, this is when you're reading yourself. You will focus till you get used to it. If you focus on one, then you put that one down. You put that down at the bottom. Then you want two possible outcomes. Because remember, future is not written in stone. So that's the issue of what's happening. And then I'm going to pick these two, whatever they are. And I'm going to plop those down for the two possible outcomes. So what I have right now is something that looks like this. Okay, so it looks like this. This is the issue. These are the two possible outcomes. Okay? And this is how you look for yourself. And then you go over to your cheat sheet in order to be able to read. Now, that's dealing like with problem at hand, and a particular issue you need to deal with. If there's something like you don't know what you do. I don't know what's happening. So you need to focus on this particular issue. So, okay, I need to focus on this issue. I need to figure out what's going on, what's going to happen. Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? Is it going to be good? That's what you do with that one. That rune, it's like a 3-spread rune, but it's not side by side because you're dealing with issue, outcome.
Issue, outcome.
Right, that's what you're dealing with, is a particular issue. And then you would go over to your notes when you start, and okay, let me see, I know those runes. Oh, okay, so my issue is Uros. Okay, so let's see, I have stability, so the rune itself is saying, okay, in this situation, I'm very stable in what I'm doing. So that's good. That's a good thing. Okay, so I know that. Represents a lot of activity, a lot of work, being more stable. So, okay, maybe the issue is I need to be more like constant or something. If that's what you're thinking. Okay, oh, maybe that's it. So then you would go to the 2 possible outcomes, and you go back to your cheat sheets, and you're looking it up. And, oh, okay, that's what that one looks like. This one's like a birch tree. It's like a seed coming to life. So evidently, if I plant it and water it and I keep going, it's going to come out in the right way. And then you go to the next outcome, and that'll be that way. That's just like dealing with one particular issue.
All right, so let me see if I can make sense of this question that Rachel said.
Okay.
She said, so 3 at the top. The center is the issue, and the 2 sides are the outcomes.
Right. So in other words, it's. I just wish I had a better camera view. I have charts. Is what I have. Hold on. All right.
So 3 at the top.
Let me pull up the zoom. Okay, so what you're dealing with, and again, you can't really. Okay, this is it. You have your issue is there. Okay, and then when you're going up on either side, you have 2 outcomes. Okay, you have the 2 outcomes, 1 and 2 outcome. Okay, and the issue is at the bottom. This is the manual I use when I teach. Okay. So that is that one. So that way you're focusing on just one issue at a time. Okay? And that is one spread, and it's called the issue. It's called problem at hand. Is what it's called. Okay? Now, if you're looking for a little advice, okay, you do a past, a root. You're doing a past or root or or a present. In other words, what you're dealing with is the past where you were. You're dealing with your present situation and a possible future. And again, you could do the same thing. Until you get used to the runes, you can also, like I said, you can go in your bag, you can feel around for your runes, you can also lay them all out, okay? You can lay them all out, and you can just use your energy to feel which rune feels right. Like say these were my runes, just like the cards. We'll utilize the cards as a show of thing. Okay, so say these are all my runes. So I'm just feeling the energy around to see which rune calls me. And then I'll watch and I'll feel, and it's like, okay, this rune. Okay, and you're thinking past. Pick the rune, put it in the past spot, and then you go present. What's happening now, and feel around, get it that way. Put it down, and then future. Same thing. Feel around with the energy. Now, this is like picking the runes. You can do it by having them all flat in front of you. You can literally...
Face down, though.
Yeah, face down. You don't want to see them.
Right.
Okay, and that's the reason why the bag. That's the reason why a rune bag. Because literally you do it that way. That's another way
so those
to...
you guys who actually won our runes...
Right.
Before, you know that they always do come in a dark what's that fabric? It's a dark velvety type.
Yeah.
Velvet sack. Yeah.
Velvet sack.
So velvet for you guys, alright?
Yeah, most runes do, and that's just like a form of casting. In other words, you just pick them out. There's other ways to cast, but that'll take a little bit for you guys to actually get used to once you start getting connected with your runes. And again, this is just the beginner method. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can find a way to figure out how to show you guys
so
this.
Rachel has a question also.
Right.
It says, how do you know which is the option is for you out of the top 3 to solve the issue?
There's only 2 at the top.
Okay. So there's only 2 at the top, Rachel. So how do you know which is the
1 at the
option
bottom,
for
which
you?
is the issue. 2 at the top, which is the outcomes. Outcome 1 or outcome 2. Now, when you're looking at it, most of the time, maybe one will be upside down and one will be right side up. But you want to know the meanings of the runes that you're dealing with. Like, say if it's the one that's going full force, it's telling you to halt. Okay, it's saying halt. Why is it saying halt? Go over to the next rune and say, okay, it's telling me to refocus. Okay, so maybe I'm supposed to halt
My focus.
so I can refocus on what's going on. You learn to connect them, is what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay?
Hopefully that answers your question. No, your question, Rachel.
Yep.
Right. So, like she said, so you would the lower center one is the actual
Issue.
issue,
Right.
and the upper is the
The upper two is the outcomes 1 and
The
2.
outcome.
And again, the outcome 1 and 2, a lot of times they will connect. So there's a reason for one or for the other. And that's what it's doing. It's giving you the future, but how to get there, so to speak. So that's kind of the difference. It's saying issue, outcome, how to get outcome.
Right.
So they connect in that manner.
Okay. Guys, you guys understand that? So the bottom is the
Issue.
and the top are the outcomes. The
Right.
possible outcomes.
And that's when you have a particular issue going on, you don't know the direction to go into, so you're connecting with your runes to get the answer to your questions.
Awesome. I'm glad you got that, Rachel.
Okay.
Awesome.
Also,
Any further questions, guys? Don't be afraid.
the past, present, and future is also a good one to do. It's just if I'm doing like, okay, I have an issue, I have a question, I'll do the issue one, because this way it gives me more direction on how to get to where I want to go.
It's a different, like having a different spread
Right.
as a tarot reader.
Right.
Now, yes, and a good way to learn them, I'm thinking maybe flashcards. If you made like flashcards, you could probably learn the runes that way quicker. Because the first step, honestly, like Sue says, is to learn what your runes.
Yeah, literally, it does, and that's why you read for yourself. Okay, so literally you have your runes. Okay, you have your intuition, right? You know what your intuition's telling you. You have your sheets. Okay, so you have the sheets on the side. You're connecting with the energy. You're picking up. Okay, I'm just gonna pick up a rune here. Okay, so you're picking up a rune, and you're feeling the rune, and it gives you a particular energy, and all of a sudden, okay, something is coming. So you have your sheets, and you just spread it out, and you say, okay, I know what's going on. And just like the way I started, and again, I was much younger, it's just 1 or 2 words, and then go with your instinct the way that you normally read. Like, let's see, okay, so this one is saying movable, beginning. Okay, so, and then I will get into, okay, there's something coming as far as like a new beginning, a new possibility. In other words, okay, there was a storm, and in other words, they start talking to me. And then I just keep going. So that's the way you're reading. This gives you just a basic outline of Avenue. And if you need to pick another rune to clarify, pick another one to clarify.
Interesting.
So you'll get there.
Right, so it's like anything else. Practice. Learn what the symbols are. Learn their names. Learn what they mean.
Yep.
Practice on yourself.
Yep.
And your rune casting will evolve.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's just something I stopped doing for a while, so I had to refresh my memory with cheat sheets. But
learn that somebody else learned
yeah,
too.
because it was like, oh my god, I don't remember how to pronunciate this one. You know, that's the hardest part. I don't think it's what they mean. It's a bloody pronunciation. It's a bloody pronunciation. Because everybody wants to know which rune it is.
Right.
And you're trying to tell them, and he says, oh, they don't.
It's like, it's up.
Yeah. Ahmed. Can you spell that? A-H phlegm. Sorry.
Right, though? That's how it is.
So
right,
there's many spreads. There's also a spread called Thor's Hammer.
Thor's hammer.
Thor's Hammer. Now, Thor's hammer deals with, in the number 1 position, how others see you. Number 2 is your fears. Number 3 is what you seek. Number 4 is the best approach. Number 5 is your goal. Number 6 is your obstacles to overcome. Number 7 is your destiny. Number 8 is the way to your real self. And number 9 is your real self. Okay.
Sound like it makes sense.
Right. So we're gonna show you this. Okay. Now, what you're dealing with in Thor's hammer. See the 1? Then you place the 2, the 3, the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and top is 9. Do you guys see that?
Thor's hammer.
That's Thor's hammer. Okay, that's one of the spreads. And it really gives you a really good direction. Especially once you start getting into the outcome and you're more comfortable with your runes, you want to get into more depth. That's just another layout that you can use. Okay? Another layout. This is a fun, easy layout.
Fun, easy
Okay.
layout.
This is how I started casting.
Okay.
Casting.
Thor's hammer. That's right.
Not Thor's hammer, the next one.
What's the next one?
Okay. The next one is the elemental.
The elemental.
Elemental.
The elemental
Earth, air,
spread.
fire, water, right?
Right.
Okay. So you draw a circle, draw an X in the circle, put air, fire, water, earth.
Shh.
Okay?
Wow.
Now air,
Stop it.
air represents intelligent thought and influences. Okay? Now, earth represents stability, prosperity, and expansion. Water, of course, represents emotions, love, and flow.
Okay.
Okay.
How many runes are in a set of runes? They're wondering.
I don't know. I've never really counted.
Actually, you know what? I can count with the cheat sheet paper, right?
Yeah.
Hold
Hold
on.
on.
I'm working on
Hold
that
on.
one.
All right. Hold on.
Okay.
One. I don't know. Yeah. I off the top of my head, I don't know. I think it's around 23 or 24 runes. I'm not sure. Now, fire would be the dramatic change or the destruction, as far as like destruction of creative ways. Okay. So what you do is you have this particular thing here. Okay, and see if you guys can see that.
25 runes, guys.
Yeah, I was close.
Yeah.
Do you see how this is here? Shh.
Stop it.
Okay, you see this. All right. So I gave you the meanings of the earth, air, fire, and water. Okay? So what you would do is you take your runes and you shake them. Okay? And then you drop your runes on your elemental sheet. That's how you start casting.
Okay.
That's why I know which area, when I'm casting, I know which area to pick. Which one they're directing me to. Was from this.
So
Because
air,
I used to use
fire,
this.
Water and earth.
Yes. So what you do is you take, you shake, you cast, and then you know whichever one is literally, they have to be faced up. You look in the particular area in the air and the fire and the water and the earth, and you know which direction you're supposed to go into. It's a good way to start just casting.
All right. That's a good
Yeah.
option.
It
That's
really
a really
is.
cool option, guys. Wow.
So that's another one.
You guys
So-
know that you are always able to contact us with any questions
Mm-hmm.
at all. The class never ends because we don't ever end. So if you guys have any questions about anything that happened,
Oh my God, we're almost out of time. I
Yes.
guess I'll show you the runic alphabet real quick.
Okay, show them that. Yeah.
That's the runic
How the
alphabet.
symbols
See
actually
the symbols?
correlate.
That is the actual alphabet and how to translate some of the ancient language. Look at that.
Awesome.
Isn't that cool?
It's all there, guys.
Yep.
So if you guys have any questions further, we really appreciate you guys taking tonight's class. We are always here. Please, if you'd like to send us any emails, it's a2network@gmail.com. You can find us on any form of social media.
Yeah.
Every type of podcast program, iHeart, iTunes, YouTube.
Now-
YouTube. You can ask Alexa for Awakening the Unknown. We're here too. And AQ Network, we're there too. So
I'm also going to be taking some of the pictures of some of my manual and posting them on the subscription page.
for those
So
of
that
you
yeah.
Sanctum, you'll have access.
Yeah,
to
so
more.
I will be posting those. I'll be taking pictures of my my particular manual just when it comes to some of the layouts and things, and I'll post them up there. The deep, intense information, probably not, but I'm going to give you guys the layouts a little bit deep entailed as far as the meanings, and I'll take some pictures of this stuff and I'll get that up there for you guys soon, okay? That way you will have it. And oh my God, we got 1 minute and 21
Oh my God.
seconds.
90 seconds.
90 seconds, guys. We'll see you Sunday, Feeling Sunday. Tomorrow, let's see. Susan Swanbeck, ATU Crystal Sales. Come do your Christmas shopping early. Don't forget, Susan ATU supports ATU Network. I'm sorry. That's kind of funny.
Crystals help keep us going, guys.
Yeah, why not? All right. Peace out. We love you.
Peace out, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Awakening the Unknown with Susan Swanbeck and Michelle Sullivan.
Love you.
On the ATU Network. For more information on upcoming shows and appearances, be sure to follow us on Facebook and on the web at awakeningtheunknown.wixsite.com. Voiceover work done by Green Green Testing.